They found the boy on a Tuesday, April 22nd, 1874, Dorchester Bay. The marsh smelled of salt and rot, the way Boston always smells when the tide pulls back and leaves things behind. Horace Millen was 4 years old. His mother had let him go to the store alone that morning. He never came back. By the time they found what was left of him, they knew. They had seen this before. The cuts, the particular arrangement of the wounds. They knew it was me. They just couldn't believe it. I was 14 years old.
Official record. Boston Police Department, Detective Division. April 22nd, 1874. Body of male child discovered at approximately 2:15 p.m. on the Dorchester Bay marsh by a passing laborer. Subject identified as Horace H. Millen, age 4, of South Boston. Wounds consistent with a bladed instrument. Multiple lacerations to the face, throat, and torso. Evidence of prolonged ante-mortem violence. No immediate witnesses located at scene. Investigation ongoing. Detective J. Wood assigned.
People always want to know why. Doctors, lawyers, journalists. Even the governor of Massachusetts wanted to know why. I spent 41 years in solitary confinement. 41 years alone in a 6x8 cell. You'd think I'd have come up with a good answer by now. But the truth is, I'm not sure the why matters as much as people think it does. What matters is what I did. And what I did completely.
The body of a young child, since identified as Horace Millen of South Boston, was discovered yesterday afternoon in a state of terrible mutilation upon the flats of Dorchester Bay. The discovery has sent a wave of horror through the city. Police are investigating the matter with utmost urgency. Mothers are urged to keep their children close.
My name is Jesse Pomeroy. I was born on November 29, 1859, in Charlestown, Massachusetts. My father was a butcher. My mother worked herself to the bone for me and my brother Charles. We were poor. Boston in the 1870s was not kind to poor families. I learned that lesson differently than most. I was born with a white film over my right eye. A cataract, they called it. Children are not kind about such things. What a devil's eye. That's what the boys called it. The girls just stared and looked away quickly, the way you look away from something that disturbs you, but that you can't quite name. I noticed early that people flinched when they looked at me. I found that interesting.
Jesse was always a solitary child, very quiet. He would watch you in a way that made you uncomfortable, not threatening exactly, but like he was studying you, like you were something he was trying to figure out. His mother was a decent woman. She worked very hard. I always felt sorry for her.
My father beat us. He left when I was around 7 or 8, walked out and didn't come back. My mother never spoke of him again, and I learned not to ask. Some people will tell you that explains everything about me, that I was made into something. I am not sure I believe that, but I include it here because people always ask. I remember the first time I felt it. I was perhaps 9 years old. I had found a cat behind our building, a stray, half-starved, the kind no one owned and no one would miss. I don't remember making a decision. I only remember that afterward, my hands were steady and my mind was very quiet. I had never felt my mind quiet before. It was always moving, racing, grinding, full of noise and pressure I could not explain. After the cat, there was silence. I began to understand what I was looking for.
The boy presents a most extraordinary case. He is not unintelligent. In fact, he displays unusual perceptive faculties. Yet he exhibits no capacity for empathy or remorse that I am able to discern. He speaks of his actions with the same detached curiosity one might bring to a mathematical problem. I have examined many criminals in my career. I have never encountered anything quite like this boy.
I was 12 years old the first time I took a boy. His name was William Payne. He was younger than me, perhaps 7 or 8. I found him near the waterfront and told him I had something to show him. He came with me without question. That was the thing about small children in those days. They trusted strangers completely. I took him to a remote place and I hurt him. I left him alive. I am not entirely sure why. Perhaps I was not yet ready for the next thing.
He told me he had something to show me near the water. He seemed like a regular boy. When we got to the place, he tied me up. He had a knife. He cut me and he hit me. He didn't say anything the whole time. Not a single word. When he left, he just walked away, like nothing had happened.
Between December of 1871 and September of 1872, I attacked 7 boys. 7 that were reported. 7 whose families went to the police. The description they gave was consistent. A tall boy, roughly 12 or 13, with a peculiar white eye. I was not difficult to find. I had never tried to be.
7 separate assaults on male children, ages 6 to 10, reported across Chelsea and South Boston districts, December 1871 to August 1872. Victims report a male subject, approximately 12 to 14 years, tall for his age, notable white opacity in the right eye. Attacks occur in isolated locations near the waterfront. Victims are lured under various pretexts. All survived but sustained serious injuries. Suspect believed to reside in the South Boston area.
He said his dog was stuck in the marsh grass and would I help him find it. I went with him. There was no dog. He pushed me down and held me there. He had a stick. He kept saying don't move, real quiet, like he was talking to himself more than to me. I thought he was going to kill me. He just stopped and walked away.
They arrested me in September of 1872. I was 12 years old. I stood in a lineup. 6 of my victims identified me without hesitation. I remember looking at them, these boys I had hurt, and finding their fear of me genuinely interesting. Like seeing yourself reflected in a mirror you didn't know was there. I was sentenced to the Westboro Reform School. They told my mother it would correct me. It did not correct me. It gave me 18 months to think. Westboro was not as bad as prison. There was structure, routine, books. The other boys left me alone after the first week. I did not need to explain why. They simply sensed something. The staff believed in rehabilitation. They spoke to us about God and industry and the possibility of becoming better men. I listened politely. I had learned that listening politely made people comfortable, and comfortable people do not watch you closely.
Subject has conducted himself in an orderly and cooperative manner throughout his tenure at this institution. He is obedient, industrious, and has made good use of the library. He has given no cause for disciplinary action. In my professional assessment, the boy has been corrected. I find no evidence of the violent tendencies that occasioned his commitment. I recommend release to his mother's custody with continued monitoring.
They released me on February 6th, 1874. I was 14 years old. My mother assured the officials I was reformed. She believed it, I think. My mother was a woman who needed to believe certain things in order to continue. I walked out of Westboro on a gray February morning and returned to South Boston. I had been patient. I was done being patient. Her name was Katie Curran. She was 10 years old, and she came into my mother's store on a Saturday, March 18th, 1874. She wanted a notebook for school. My mother was not in the shop, only me. I told Katie the notebooks were kept in the back, in the cellar. I asked her to follow me. She did. Katie Curran did not leave the cellar that day. Officers came and searched the premises, including, briefly, the cellar. They did not find her. I had been careful.
She left the house at 10:30 that morning to buy a copybook from the shop on the corner, Pomeroy's store on Broadway. She never came home. I went to the shop myself that afternoon. The boy behind the counter, the older one, Jesse, he told me he hadn't seen her. He looked me right in the eye when he said it. God help me, I believed him.
Katie Curran, female, age 10, brown hair, last seen wearing a gray dress and wool coat. Departed family residence at approximately 10:30 a.m. on March 18th, bound for Pomeroy's dry goods store, Broadway. Did not return. Premises of Pomeroy's store searched on the afternoon of March 18th. No evidence of the child located. Investigation continuing. The boy Jesse Pomeroy, age 14, recently released from Westboro. C was present in the store at the time of the girl's visit.
Life continued. My mother continued running the shop. I helped her. The police questioned me once. I answered their questions calmly, and they left. People search for guilt in a person's face when they are questioned. They expect to see it. I had learned by then that my face gave them nothing to find, and this confused them in a way that actually worked in my favor. They were looking for a guilty boy. I appeared to be simply a quiet one. I found Horace Millen near the waterfront on the morning of April 22nd. He was 4 years old. He had a round face and was wearing a small gray coat. I told him I would take him where he was going. He took my hand. We walked together toward Dorchester Bay, to the marsh. I do not intend to describe what happened on that marsh in complete detail. Some things need not be spoken aloud to be understood. I left Horace Millen on the marsh and walked home. I was calm. I was always calm afterward. They found him that afternoon.
I saw the boy walking with the little one near the waterfront around 11 that morning. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Thought it was an older brother taking the little fellow out. The older one had a strange eye, white, like it was clouded over. When I heard about the child found on the marsh that afternoon, I went straight to the police. I should have gone sooner. God forgive me. I should have stopped them.
Post-mortem examination of Horace H. Millen, male, age 4 years. The body presents numerous wounds, consistent with a sharp instrument. Injuries to the face, neck, chest, and abdomen. Evidence indicates the child was alive for a portion of the assault. Cause of death: exsanguination due to multiple stab wounds. The nature and pattern of the wounds are consistent with injuries observed in the 1871 to 1872 Chelsea assault cases. It is the examiner's opinion that the same individual is responsible.
Boston is gripped by a fear unlike any in recent memory. The mutilated body of 4-year-old Horace Millen has confirmed what investigators feared. The creature responsible for last year's string of child tortures has returned and is now graduated to murder. Police are following active leads. Citizens are urged to report any suspicious person in the vicinity of the South Boston waterfront.
They found me quickly. A witness had seen me with Horace near the waterfront that morning. My description matched every account. I was arrested on April 24th, 1874. I was still 14 years old. I denied everything at first. Then I confessed to Horace. I told them I didn't know why I had done it. That was the only dishonest thing I said during the entire investigation. I knew why.
We took the boy at his mother's residence at 7:30 in the morning. He came quietly. He did not cry, did not protest, did not ask for his mother. He sat in the wagon all the way to the station and looked out the window the entire time as if he were going somewhere he'd been before and knew the route. I have arrested a great many men in my time. I have never had an arrest feel quite like that one.
They searched the store in July, a more thorough search than the first. They found Katie Curran in the cellar, her remains after nearly 4 months. I watched my mother's face when they told her. I had wondered sometimes how that would look. It looked the way I had imagined it would.
I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it. He was my boy. He sat at my table every night. He helped me in the shop. I looked into his face 1,000 times, and I never saw. I don't know what I was supposed to see. I don't know what kind of mother can't see that in her own child. I don't know.
During a second, more thorough examination of the cellar of the Pomeroy premises at 327 Broadway, the remains of a female child were located beneath approximately 2 feet of disturbed ash and debris. Remains consistent with Katie Curran, missing since March 18, 1874. Medical examiner called to scene. Jesse Pomeroy, currently in custody, has been additionally charged with the murder of Katie Curran.
And I was tried as an adult for the murder of Horace Millen in December of 1874. The trial lasted 2 days. My lawyers argued I was insane, that no sane boy could do what I had done. The jury deliberated for less than an hour. I was convicted of first-degree murder, the youngest in Massachusetts history. They sentenced me to death. The governor commuted it to life in solitary confinement. At the time, I thought death might have been preferable. I was wrong. I had a great deal of time left to think, and thinking, it turned out, was the one thing I was very good at.
Jesse Pomeroy, age 14, was yesterday found guilty of murder in the first degree for the killing of Horace Millen. The jury retired for 45 minutes before returning their verdict. The boy received the news without any visible sign of emotion. Judge Lord recommended the death penalty. The governor is expected to weigh the unprecedented nature of the case. No child so young has ever been sentenced to death in this Commonwealth. The city awaits his decision.
41 years in solitary confinement, a 6x8 cell, stone walls, a small window that let in light in a single stripe each afternoon, moving slowly across the floor like a clock. I learned to read that stripe of light, to know the hour by its angle, to measure time in degrees. They gave me books eventually. I wrote petitions for release every single year. Every petition was denied.
Pomeroy continues in solitary confinement as mandated. He presents no disciplinary difficulties whatsoever. He reads extensively, writes with both hands, and maintains a journal of some kind that he is not required to surrender. He makes no complaints and no requests beyond books. He is, in every observable way, a model prisoner. That fact does not comfort me in the slightest.
People imagine solitary confinement breaks a person, makes them hollow. I found it clarifying. When there is nothing but yourself and your thoughts for 41 years, you come to know yourself with a precision that most people never achieve. I knew exactly what I was. Solitude did not change that. It only made it sharper. My mother came to visit for years, until she couldn't anymore. She never stopped believing she would have her son back. I did not tell her that her son, the one she was waiting for, had never really existed.
I go to see him every month that I am able. He is always calm, always polite. He asks me how I am. He thanks me for coming. People ask me how I can still love him after what he did. I tell them he is my son. I cannot explain it better than that. I know what he is. I have known for a long time now, but he is still my son.
In 1917, 41 years after my conviction, they moved me to the general prison population at MC Drive, Bridgewater. I was 57 years old. I had not spoken to another human being in a sustained conversation since 1876. The other men were curious about me. My reputation had preceded me across 4 decades and 2 generations of prisoners. I was polite to them. I had learned patience in ways most men never have occasion to.
When Pomeroy came to general population, everybody knew who he was. You'd think men like us would have been past being scared of anything. We weren't, not of him. He never did anything threatening. He was old and quiet, and he read all day. But there was something about the way he looked at you. Like you weren't entirely real to him. Like you were something he was observing. After a few weeks, everybody just left him alone.
I petitioned for parole regularly. Every petition cited my age, my health, my model behavior, my 4 decades of suffering. Every petition was denied. The victims' families objected. The public objected. Whatever else changed in the world, the city of Boston had not forgiven me. I found this consistent, at least. There is something almost respectable about a city that does not forget.
I was 7 years old when my brother was killed. I am now 54. I have lived my entire adult life in the shadow of what that boy did to my family. My mother never recovered. My father drank himself to death. I am asking this board, as I have asked every board before you, to keep Jesse Pomeroy in prison until he dies there. That is the only justice my brother ever received, and I will not allow it to be taken away.
If people have always wanted me to say I am sorry. Not just the word. Anyone can say words. They wanted the feeling. The visible collapse of a man who carries the weight of what he has done and cannot bear it. I have tried, over the years, to locate that feeling in myself. To find the place where remorse should live. I have not found it. I have found regret. Not for what I did, but for the consequences. For the cell. For the years. For my mother's face. Whether that counts as human feeling, I leave to others to decide. Katie Curran would have been in her 50s by the time I was moved to general population. Perhaps she would have had children of her own. Horace Millen would have been a middle-aged man. I think about them the way you think about roads not taken, not with grief, but with a kind of distant arithmetic. I am aware this is not the same as grief. I include it because it is the most honest thing I can offer.
Jesse Pomeroy is not a puzzle to be solved. He is a reminder that some people exist outside the boundaries of what most of us understand as human feeling. He was studied by every major alienist of his era. None of them could explain him satisfactorily. He died as he lived, without apology, without remorse, without any apparent sense that the world had been diminished by what he had done. The question his case leaves us with is not why did he do it. The question is, what do we do with people for whom the answer to that question is simply because I wanted to?
I died on September 29th, 1932, at the Bridgewater State Farm. I was 72 years old. I had been in custody for 58 years. The newspaper notice was brief, a paragraph, maybe 2. I have been in history books since then, in true crime articles and psychology textbooks and documentaries like this one. People look at my case and try to understand how a 12-year-old boy becomes what I became. Maybe the only honest answer is the one no one wants to accept. Some people come into the world already facing the wrong direction. And no reform school, no solitary cell, no act of God or man is going to turn them around. I was one of those people. I knew it at 9 years old. I have always known exactly what I was.
Jesse Pomeroy died in custody on September 29, 1932. He served 58 years, the longest prison sentence in Massachusetts history at the time.